questions.
But you've been here before in the NCAA tournament at Marquette. What was it like for you to see all the guys that have not been here before experience that today?
In a positive way, I think that's one of the better things about it, because it's all pure. You know, the things that they said before the show came on, that's who they are. Like, they don't know. And to be able to be a part of anything that's first, I think, is always special. And so it's really neat. Probably should be able to articulate it better than that. But, you know, those are kids that have dreamed their whole life of having this opportunity. And, you know, along the path of pushing them further than they're typically willing to be pushed, you're trying to explain this is why, but they don't understand it because they've never done it. And I think that's why it's so hard. That's why the teams that win always win and the teams that lose always lose, whether that's business or sports. And anytime you see one that's been flipped, you know there's a lot of stuff that's taken place.
You did the TV deal the last few years, and you study everything. Did you have a good sense of what seed you would get, and is that about what you thought, low, high?
I mean this in the right way. It's exactly what I thought. There were maybe 8 to 10 teams that I thought were in contention other than the Hokies on that 8-9 line. And with what transpired in the ACC tournament and the Pac-12 tournament, I didn't know if that would interrupt the one. And if we were an 8-9, that could possibly interrupt us. Villanova's the number one, so that means we're the number 9. And I would say our body of work is in that realm. I haven't studied Wisconsin enough to know. Obviously, I have prior relationships with all of those guys. I don't know if they think that seed is low to them or not. I know down the stretch they probably didn't play as well as they had early on in the Big Ten race. I'll know better next time I see it because I'll study it all tonight. But I had a pretty good feeling we were going to Buffalo, and I had a pretty good feeling we were the 8-9 range. But you know, there's a little bit of wiggle room, not to sound like Mick Cronin, but there's a little bit of wiggle room when it's who's going to be the 1, who's going to be the 2. I don't know if 10 teams actually get in from the ACC, but when they do, they try to make sure that you don't play them in the second round. And in 2011, we played Syracuse on the way to the Sweet 16, and I know the committee tries to avoid that. So I told our kids before we practice, that's what I thought we would be.
Have you been to Buffalo before? Do you have any?
I have.
stories?
Lazar Hayward was the first round draft pick I ever coached. He was from Buffalo, and he chose Marquette over a rowing scholarship to a Division II school in New York. And then Sissy had always wanted to go to what do you call it, Mama? The Niagara Falls, and so, but that's all I know.
Questions?
Zach, was that about what you were expecting from a seed standpoint?
Not for sure. I really didn't know where we were going to be at. You look at all the bracketology and stuff like that, and you just think about the teams you'd beat. So you just don't know where you're going to be at, but that's the cards we were dealt, and we just got to go out there and play as hard as we can and beat Wisconsin.
What do you know about Wisconsin? Have you watched them play any this year?
I was actually just watching them play because they were in the Big Ten championship against Michigan, and we had beat Michigan. So we were just thinking, like, we don't know how the process goes or anything. We were just thinking if Michigan wins the Big Ten, then we'll probably get a better seed than Michigan because we had beat Michigan on their home floor. So we didn't know, but we were watching them play, and that's just crazy how everything just came full circle. We ended up playing them. So,
how does it feel to be one of the guys who really helped turn this program around in your time here?
It feels good, but I just think of everybody that's helped, all the managers, all the players, all the coaches, all the faces. I think really about the faces that were here like day one, like we didn't have nothing. We didn't have nothing to believe in. I just think about that, and it's just crazy how much it's blood, sweat, and tears it's taken to like get to this point, and we just want to just pursue and just keep going on from this point.
You committed to Virginia Tech sight unseen, right, without even taking a visit. I guess it's got to be pretty special to you being a guy that nobody really wanted, and then you find yourself all ACC tournament team and now leading your team to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy, but I just figured if I just kept praying and just working as hard as I could, then I think anything will work. If you just do that and just have faith and just pray and work as hard as you can, and God blessed me and put Buzz in my life, and Buzz is all about hard work, and he rewards hard work. He wasn't like it's a lot of coaches that are political, and Buzz isn't political. If you work hard, then he gonna reward you. He don't care where you came from. You could drop out the sky. So that's and this is the perfect coach to play for in that situation. So I'm just thankful that I was able to get blessed with Coach Buzz.
Go ahead, guys.
All right, so what was it like seeing the name come across there for the first time in your career?
It was good. I'm always gonna remember it. It meant a lot. I'm excited that we get to play. I'm just ready to practice and get ready for the game. As a first timer for a whole team, we don't really know what to do. So I think it's actually good for us because we could just follow Buzz's lead and just play as hard as possible. I don't think we'll come out nervous or anything. I think we'll come out ready, aggressive, ready to attack, and just play for each other.
Are you a guy who watches a lot of college basketball in your spare time, so to speak? And if so, have you watched teams like Wisconsin and Villanova play this year?
Yeah. We were just watching. It's funny because we were just watching the Wisconsin-Michigan game and eating like in our practice facility, and then we walk over here and said we're about to play Wisconsin. So we watch a lot of basketball. We don't have cable, so when games come on, we had to come to the practice facility to watch them or try to like stream them or something. But we pay attention. We see them. We know Villanova is similar to us. They got players like same size as us, and Wisconsin's a really good veteran team. They got guys that's played a long time in college. Guys that make big plays. You have to really guard them and keep them off the glass.
Seth, can you speak to the balance of, hey, we're in the tournament, we're happy to be there, and hey, let's go win a game or two and take this thing as far as we can?
Yeah, I think that personally, the player, I think we moved past that. We're in the tournament stage. I think that a couple weeks ago, Buzz was talking to us after practice, and he was like, we were thinking about the tournament the wrong way. We were thinking about just making the tournament, and we got to think about winning the tournament, like winning games in the tournament, going like he was talking about. So when he said that, it really opened my eyes. Like, wow. So like when they called our name, I was happy, but I didn't want to celebrate until until we win a game or keep going. So I just wanted just to stay even keeled, even minded, and not just get too happy.
Were you part of the crew that was watching Wisconsin and Michigan play each other today?
Yeah, I was up in the office with Zach and Dev and Seth, a couple of other managers watching the game against Michigan. Had no idea it was going to go against them, but yeah.
As a player, when you watch a game, are you thinking in your mind about matchups? What would I do if I was playing them? And what'd you see when you watched Wisconsin?
To be honest, no, I didn't really think about it. But right now, I'm still not thinking about it. I'm just really excited. I guess when we watch film later on, or probably tonight or tomorrow morning, I'll start thinking about it.
You're one of the few guys on this team that committed to Virginia Tech under a different coach. So obviously the courtship, when Buzz recruited you, was a very short recruitment. You showed a lot of faith in him, still coming here with the coaching change.
He didn't recruit me at all.
Didn't recruit you at all?
At all.
All right, so how did you end up here? Did anybody else come in and try to steal you away, or how did that work?
Yeah, they did, but I committed to Virginia Tech for a reason, like for school. I knew that school was a big factor of it, including basketball. I love the place. I love how people treat you here, and that was a big factor for me to come. And I thought of it with my parents a lot. And we knew how Buzz was. We knew how he operated. We watched a lot of film with him and stuff like that, and we just decided to stay, and it was a good decision.
Just from your perspective, what's it like actually seeing the Virginia Tech name up there in the bracket and finally, meeting one of your goals of making it to the NCAA tournament?
I mean, it's pretty amazing, undescribable. Man, I still can't believe it. It's just surreal to me, to be honest.